Hello there everybody, how are we doing? Good? Good. Today I have a preview of the Java update for Echoes of Power. Now some of you may know what Echoes of Power is, but in case you don't, it's a Palladium add-on, I know, how unexpected of me, that adds a variety of original powers that take some inspiration from various different characters across DC, Marvel, and a handful of animes. Interpreted in unique ways, of course, which is now only getting better as Echoes of Power becomes a Java Palladium add-on, or a mod add-on to be specific. I will be showing you a sneak peek at some of the functions and powers in this new Java version. I hope you'll enjoy. Before we begin, I would just like to clarify one more time and say again that this is a preview of the Java version of Echoes of Power that will be coming out at some point, but it is not currently out, just in case anyone skipped past the little intro bit and they don't know that. Now, let's get to showing you everything. Righty. First things first, I would like to thank the creator of this add-on, Goldfish, for giving me early access to this Java update. It is an honour. It is incredibly great. I mean, when they reached out to me, they didn't even want me to make a review of it entirely. They just wanted my opinion on it. And if I was going to make a review of it, they said that would be cool. But it is very good. So I do think it deserves to have a review made of it, because this is all quite brilliant. Before we get into the powers or any of the items and certain things, we're going to be going over some of the extra information you are going to need for this. Again, some of this might change by the time that this releases, but currently, Battle Mode is the first thing I'm going to be going over. Battle Mode is something that you can trigger with a customizable key, although the default is G. I have mine set to one of my mouse buttons, I think button 4 or button 5, I can't fully remember. And it varies depending on which power it is, but the ability it gives you is usually tied to right click. Secondly, there's the utility panel, which is an important part of a power, as certain powers do just have extra utilities like night vision, extended block reach, light source, and the default key for this is H, but you can customize that. And it's of course just very important generally. I mean, something like night vision, you might not always want it on, but so it's nice to have the utility panel to be able to toggle it on and off. Then there's of course levels. Levels are, your levels. They give you skill points each new level you get. Your XP is currently, at least in this version I have, based off killing mobs. It varies on the health of the mob that you kill, or depending on which varies how much XP you get. And then there's the genetic sequencer, which is really important, really important. It does a lot of stuff. I'm not going to be going over everything it does. I mean, a lot of the stuff it does isn't functional in the version I have anyway, so it doesn't matter. But it's a key part of your experience. It ties into almost every power. A lot of powers rely on it for customization. I mean, you don't need it to use a power, but it makes using powers a lot fun for certain ones. Like some powers have customizations that are tied to the genetic sequencer, and this isn't functional in the version I'm in, but in certain versions you'll be able to fuse powers, to my understanding, which is also going to be very interesting. And that is all going to be coming at some point. The last thing is that some abilities are destructive. By that I mean they can destroy blocks in your world. I mean massive destruction, to be clear, like massive amounts of it. So the way you can toggle that is with the /Echoes of Power game rule command. That might change again by the time that you're doing this, but in the version I'm in, that's what it is. And I'm just letting you know so that if you're watching this when it's come out and I haven't made a review of it yet and no one's made a review of it yet, that might still be the same. So then you can toggle that off if you want to. Now let's dive into the content. The first things first, we have Argon, which is a material in this add-on. Well, mod add-on. So Argon is a crystal which is found underground. There's a stone variant and a deep slate variant. When you find it and break it, it will begin to decay. Argon decays over time. It doesn't have durability. So all of your tools and armor don't have durability. You can use them for ages, and they, well, I say ages, you can use them for as long as the decay time allows, and they won't break, and being hit doesn't decrease your decay time. It doesn't increase your decay time at all. It is decrease, that was the word I was looking for. It doesn't decrease your decay time. So basically infinite durability, but they decay over time. And you can replenish the decay time. You need Argon crystals to do so, though. So basically, when you're getting Argon, maybe, just use Silk Touch if you come across it, so that you can just take the blocks and then break them whenever you need. Because if you just have them, they will decay. Even if they're in chests, they'll decay over time. But you can increase the amount of time you have left by just doing that, chucking it in, and then that's added a few minutes onto my time. Now, obviously, I'm kitted out in the LD Corp suit, so I'm going to be wearing that. But this is it is incredibly good as well. I want to be clear about that. This is like between Diamond and Netherite tier of durability and toughness. Like, it is very good. There's also the tools. These are all obviously just they have all of the tools, but I've just picked these because these are general. Everyone's getting a sword, a pickaxe, and an axe. So yeah, these are 8 attack damage, 1.6 attack speed. Obviously, I don't know what exact level these are on. I'll get something that can only be broken by diamond, obsidian. Get a block of that. To be fair, there probably would have been one in here, but still. Oh, I'm in creative mode. I didn't think about that. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so it breaks at diamond level. So yeah, it's a very good pickaxe. So yeah, this is a good in-between for Netherite, and all you have to do to increase the time you have left of it is just get some more Argon crystals. And it's going to be very good in your playthrough when you need just a generally good early game tool. Like, this lasts at least 2 hours. You could take this into the Nether, get yourself some Netherite equipment. Bob's your uncle. That wasn't the very okay. Right. So that's Argon, and up next we have our powers. Now, the first power I have for us today is Neogenesis. Did you notice I said that wrong? I said Neogenesis. I really overcomplicated that. But I've got the command blocks to work. Boom. I do have a bit of energy. I put this on earlier for a bit, so when I was testing if these work, so I do have a bit of energy on this. But yeah, so Neogenesis. Basically, you are a regenerative beast. You are Wolverine, only better. You're better than Wolverine. Obviously, the first bit you have is bone blades, so I think that does sort of show you this does take a bit of inspiration from Wolverine. But you are massively you're better than Wolverine. I'm going to be totally honest with you. You're better than Wolverine. Obviously, description: generates new biological structures, restoring damaged tissue or creating entirely new organic forms with controlled regenerative power. You have your HP, attack, defense, toughness, speed. I think this is entirely accurate to, like, if I take off my armor. Yeah, this is an accurate counter. So you're pretty generic Minecraft, pretty much. I mean, I don't think any of my stats are, none of my stats have been changed. I do have all of the stat changes written down as well. So we have our adaptive physiology. You continuously regenerate health, consume hunger 20% more slowly, and are immune to nausea, blindness, hunger, poison, wither, and instant damage. You're pretty much set. What is there to say? And then Withering Touch. Empower your strikes for a duration. Basic attacks inflict wither on enemies. Battle mode must be equipped, again. But you right-click, and you got Wither Hands. You do Wither 2 for 5 seconds. Obviously, it says 4 seconds, but I think it is 5. It's just obviously the first second. Actually, it might be 4. I think I wrote down 5. It might be 4. Man. Got a bone. You got bone attack. So Bone blades. Extend sharpened bone claws from your arms, increasing your melee damage, which I believe, yes, increases your... Okay, yeah. Increases your damage to 5. Brill. This is one of those times where you can customize your power. Now, there's no crafting recipe for the genetic sequencer yet, so I'm doing this the old-fashioned way, which is cheating it in creative mode. So we have different custom options. Obviously, there's the... I'm going to put some offhand. You can see them whilst I do it. There's the standard, which we have here. Then there's the paired, the classic, which is obviously the Wolverine 3 claws. Offset, so you have 2 on top, 1 on the bottom. Rake, which I don't even know, that's a lot. Feral, which is 4 on each corner. Split, which is 2 short ones on the side. The Shredder, let's just call it the Shredder. A Talon, which is, it's a Talon. A Crown, which feels more Wolverine to me, but then I get more like a feral Wolverine, I suppose. With like, they sort of extend a bit more. And then Heavy, which is ugly. No, it's not ugly, it's just, it's unique. And then my favourite, Nails, which is why I waited for last, because I'm keeping this one. Nails is my favourite. I like the short, but like, I like the look. I like the look of the nails. It also goes well with my look as well, so it fits me. But yeah, 7.5 critical, very nice. So yeah, I'm just going to do slash ability unlock. Well, actually, no, I'll kill a few mobs to show you leveling up, and then I'll do slash ability unlock. So let's slash summon a few husks, because we know how much I dislike them. Actually, do about 10. How many is that? Oh, wow. You know what, I can just summon more. Am I not taking damage? Okay, there you go. Yeah, you can see me take damage, because I had hunger. Come on, damage me. Yeah, you can, because my regenerate... Okay, well, actually, let's take this off. I let them nearly kill me there. You generate pretty decently quick. Okay. Yeah, you regenerate pretty decent. I mean, you know, 1 point every... 1, 2... Like, every 2-3 seconds you regenerate a health point. That's pretty decent. Definitely rapid. Nah, mates. And then your battle mode ability also changes. I've loved playing around with this. Neogenesis. I haven't played with Echoes of Power in a while, admittedly, but when I did back in the day, Neogenesis was my favourite of the powers, and it still holds up. You get a little dash. You get a little Wolverine dash. You're Wolverine. You're the Wolverine. Oh my god, you're the Wolverine. You 9. Oh, that's crit. It does 6 damage, but 9. Yeah. Oh my god. And that's just not a dash forward. You can dash in any direction, but it only does damage when you're going forward, which makes sense because your claws are out. As a bit of a, each ability has a cooldown. I mean, even, well, not this, but abilities that aren't like, oh, activating, deactivating something, that usually have a cooldown. 6 damage. But 6 damage again. This could be very overpowering. Especially, and I forgot to tell you this, your damage stacks. So 12 damn insane. Yeah, so your claw damage stacks. Righty. So, how close am I? Yeah, I need 2 more. Come on, lads. Don't you want to fight? There you go, level 2. So yeah, kill mobs, get XP, level up. That's the way it currently is. Yeah, so enhance health. Right, let's slash ability unlock. Now I've shown you that. Slash ability unlock Mender all. So yeah, your max. So you increase your health, armor, speed, and toughness. Your max health being 28, max armor being 6, your max toughness 10, and plus 10 speed. I will say that when I first saw the max toughness, I was shocked, but it is plus 10 because toughness is the last one you unlock. being plus 10, I was very shocked by that. I'm not saying it doesn't make sense, but I did think it was a bit mad. Because toughness is very good. Yeah, lads. You thought you could fight me? Do you know who I am? I'm the wolf. No, I can't keep doing the same bit. Right. I'm not even too slow when I've lost my hunger. But I do need some food, of course. Can't just go without. So. Those are our general abilities. Then let's slash damage me 20. Oh, also I've got max hunger now, don't I? I forgot about that. 20. Again. Come on. Come on. Run out of my hunger, because I need to do this. 10. Alright, there you go. So our next ability, ability 2, is Cellular Reconstruction. Rapidly regenerate health over the duration. Nearby allies are also healed whilst this ability is active. Yeah, it does a good job. It does take you from your energy bar, though. Obviously, these haven't. Okay, slash summon a cow. Yeah, I'll heal us. Oh, I can't because I'm not healing myself. I can. Okay, buddy. Okay, it doesn't work on cows. It does specify a lot in the description of abilities, allies, and enemies. So I don't know if there's a specific thing that says, oh, this is a friend, this is a foe. Okay, so next we have Meiotic Detonation. Strike a target, causing unstable tumours to rapidly grow before exploding. The explosion deals damage to the target and has a 50% chance to inflict bleeding. Yeah. Come on, lads. Come on. Boom. Okay, gives bleeding 2 for 10 seconds, and so that's 1 damage every second. Which is, pretty mint. I mean, you use, 15 damage? I think these did 5 damage. Might have done 3. Either way, 13's not bad either. Yeah, okay, 3. 13 damage if they get bleeding, of course, because it's 50% chance. So that was Meiotic Detonation. Next, we have Cellular Enhancement. Greatly enhance your body's biological functions, increasing your movement speed, armor, and strength for a duration. Nearby allies also gain this boost. I also have a boost for these written down. Let's activate this. I get real fast. I get a lot of... my strength goes up by 2.5 and my armor goes up massively. I do have the exact amounts written down, of course. The exact amount of armor is plus 30. The exact amount of toughness is plus 10. And the exact amount of strength, but the strength is plus 50% because it doesn't specify, but that's plus 2.5. And then speed by plus 60%. So that's brilliant. That's very good. It lasts a decent amount of time as well. I need to slash wherever clear. And then our final ability, which is Immortality. Have you ever wanted to play a game of chess with death? Well, now you can. Evolutionary Bloom instantly restores your health to max and enters an immortal state for 30 seconds, which makes you immune to damage. Nearby enemies also gain immortality for the duration. Instantly heal. I get immortality for 30 seconds. You also have to deal with this annoying, sound effect playing every second. But yeah, I don't take any damage. I take off all my armor. Even though I do take damage, I heal so quickly I don't even notice. You can die in finger quotes, but you don't actually die. If I fly incredibly high up into the sky, I'm going to speed this up in post, because I need to get quite high. Not like... Oh, well. Okay, back. Righty. I removed and gave myself the power just so it would reset the timer. Let's turn off battle mode as well. Survival mode, immortality. Come on, come on. Bam. Yeah, so you don't die. Obviously, it drains a lot of your energy to become immortal, but you don't. So don't act. So obviously you might not want to activate this immediately when you fall. It doesn't have. There's no negative effects to draining your bar fully. It's just a bit annoying to get it all the way back up. Yeah. So basically, if you have the immortality effect and you do manage to do something that should kill you, because it doesn't give you immunity to fall damage, then you just lose the immortality effect basically instead of dying, which is a pretty decent, give. I don't die. I just lose a 30-second effect that has what. Not a long cooldown, like a minute and a half, 2 minutes. It's not that bad. Not that bad. I'd take it. And that is everything with Geokinesis. Now, Geokinesis is, I think, the most basic power I'm going over in this review. So I've done this in the wrong order as well. No, I haven't actually. I have it written down this way. No, I shouldn't ever doubt myself. Right. So, Astral Energy Manipulation. Is our next power. Astral Energy Manipulation is a big one, really big, because this power, and I'm good, it technically has 3 different ability bars. 2 of the ability bars share the same ability tree and names, but they do different things, even though they're incredibly similar. And then it has an extra ability bar, which we'll be going over last. So, obviously, I've gone over to level things now, so from now on, I'm just going to do / ability unlock all. EOP Beyonder all. Now, the stat increases on this. So this is a more complicated one. So there's 2 states to this power. There's the solar state and there's the lunar state. So in the solar state, right. So in the solar state, you get +2 attack damage and +20 attack speed. And then in the lunar state, you get 50% increased movement speed and regeneration. And then, of course, we have the unlockable stat upgrades, which we have the max stats for those is +4 attack points, +6 armor points, and +10 speed, +10% speed. I wrote that weird because I wrote this one before I wrote the other ones, and I think I changed format at some point because with this one actually is written differently. It's in Neogenesis, so I just wrote Astral Energy Manipulation. Weird. Not weird, but different than I usually do. So, our passive ability for this is Cosmic Flow. Switching states will allow your next ability to consume 0 energy. This has a 30-second cooldown. Additionally, you are immune to fire and lava. Pretty good. You also have utilities with this. Night vision, for one. Smelting, which means that if I get a raw ore, like raw iron, and I hold it in my main hand, it smelts. It smelts real good. Then we have light source. You become a light source, where you summon a light source. There's fire resistance. You just get fire resistance to yourself and nearby allies, and slow falling to yourself and nearby allies again. Okay, so those are your utilities. Then your battle mode is Star Flare. Solar state, fire a condensed sphere of solar energy that explodes on impact, dealing damage in a small area and setting fire to enemies hit. And then lunar state, fire a condensed sphere of lunar energy that deals damage and slows enemies hit for a short duration. I think this does explode things, yes. / echoes of power, game rule, destruction mode, false. So then if I... Okay, yeah. So, sets fire to enemies. Did that say 9 damage? 10. And then 6 as well. Okay. Yeah. Very good. And then our lunar state. Now, first of all, that ties into our first ability, which is Astral Shift, which is how we shift from state to state. So, being uncrouched is solar mode, then crouching and pressing the button is lunar mode. 3 damage and slowness 2 for a few seconds. So obviously weaker, but it's less of a damaging and more of a defensive ability a bit. So that was battle mode. Now we have our second ability, Celestial Drift. Solar state, you dash in the direction you're looking and damage enemies you pass through. I believe you do also set fire to them. And then in the lunar state, you dash and then get Lunar Cloak, which basically makes you invisible and gives you a very high speed bound. So, never mind, you don't set fire to. Okay. That's okay. So yeah, just decent amount of damage, and then Lunar State is sick. Oh, you also phase through blocks when in Lunar Cloak. Brilliant, that is. Okay. And it doesn't have a long cooldown at all. It only takes a little bit of your energy, so by the time you need to use it again, you've already recharged, and it's already gone off cooldown. But yeah, brilliant. Right. So, our next ability is Energetic Surge. Solar state, you release a wave of solar energy in a cone before you, dealing damage and igniting enemies. And then in lunar state, you knock back enemies and give them slowness. So we're going to summon a husk for this. Hi, buddy. Oh, so sad. And then knocked him back. Okay. Well, it didn't show the slowness, but I can show the slowness on one of these. You have slowness 2 for 2 seconds. Very nice indeed. Our next ability is Gravatic Collapse, or Gravitic. I don't know if that's a spelling mistake or not. I meant to double check, but I didn't. Anyway, Solar State creates a black hole at your target's location for 4 seconds, continuously pulling nearby enemies towards its center and dealing damage every 10 ticks. Okay, and then Lunar State creates a black hole at the target's location for 4 seconds, pulling enemies towards its center with greatly increased force, and then when it expires, the enemies get launched back and stunned. So, let's summon a few more husks. Sorry, lads, not today. Oh, does that hurt? Oh, so sad. And then, you fought, didn't you? You fought. Boom. Oh, dearie me. They get the stunned effect, which means they can't move. They get the nice little Pokemon stars over their head look as well. I forgot I don't do damage to them. Yeah, they can't hit me when I'm in this mode. There's a creeper in there. You lads messed up. Yeah. Okay. And then our final ability is our most powerful. Eclipse Ascension. Ascend into your astral form for up to 60 seconds. You gain increased combat attributes, become immune to certain negative effects, and it replaces your basic abilities. Do I have the amount it increases your... No, I do not have that written down. That's chill. I do have something written down, but it's not that. So... Boom! You might remember this from the intro bit. Here it is. Yeah. You can fly. Also, the flight is beautiful. I don't know if this is something that has been added by Goldfish, or if this is something that's coming in the next or this is a feature from Palladium that's been added recently. Because I remember seeing something about the flight changing in Palladium, but I can't remember if that was for 1.20.1 or the update that's going to be in another version. Deary me. Okay, yeah, it doesn't last long. Right, I need to remove the power and put it back on to do that again, because I need to show you the abilities. Astral Energy Manipulation. And Astral Energy Manipulation. So the abilities on this are Solar Rays, which shoots beams out of your eyes. A Cosmic Shift, which you become a cloud of smoke and move quickly through the sky in the direction you're looking. You cause an explosion when landing. Gravitic Collapse. Okay. Creates a black hole that destroys anywhere you're looking, and then Stellar Destruction creates a wave of pure cosmic destruction, dealing unstable destructive damage to anyone in the AOE area of effect. So, oh no, I pressed the wrong button. Now that does destroy blocks, but obviously I have block destruction turned off. And then our ability 1, beams. They do 10 damage a hit. And then we have our black hole, which would again usually destroy blocks, but I have block destruction turned off. I've reached level 2. And then the big one. That destroy might did no, it didn't destroy the okay. So yeah, that's very loud. That was astral energy manipulation. This gives the stunned effect. Okay, astral energy manipulation. Next we have plane manipulation. Which is a very nice one as well. So, plane let me scroll down on this. I need to go onto my page for this. So, plane manipulation. So, you start again with the basic Minecraft stats as per. Your utilities are night vision, entity sense, and so falling. Entity sense is the only new one, which allows you to sense entities. So, yes. Our passive is Dimensional Anchor. You are unaffected by force teleportation and dimensional displacement effects. Okay. Additionally, you are immune to blindness, darkness, distorted, and fractured, which is very nice. You'll see what those are in a minute, and they are not very nice. And then our battle mode is Rift Plane. Enter the Rift Plane, becoming untargetable and able to phase through blocks and entities. This is drain your energy bar. But you become being of pure, energy and not energy. You become being of pure, you're in a different realms to everyone else. You're on a different level. Okay. Let's do / ability unlock all for Drifter. So our stats that are increased are strength, speed, and armor. Max is +4 strength, +20% speed, and +6 armor points. So that's all right. We have a pocket reality. I was meant to go in third, but I can do it here. Your energy increases quicker in your pocket reality, and you also gain regeneration. But yeah, as well, your allies gain regeneration. You can let your allies enter by shifting and pressing the key. So you could trap them in here. I mean, I'm not saying you should, but you could. So that is your pocket dimension. Our next ability is Rift Carver. Launch a dimensional slash that deals damage to enemies hit and has a 50% chance to apply stacks of Distorted. Distorted can stack up to 5 times. Oh, right. 3, 4. You don't want just okay. I'm going to show you Distorted. Slash. I'll put some footage here showing you Distorted because I've set a timer for myself and I sort of want to stick within it. So I'm going to put some footage here showing Distorted. Editing, LD. Do it. Remember to do that. It's important that you do. Right. Okay. Footage of the Distorted effect / effect. Give me Distorted. That's disoriented. Distorted. 100. Let's do level 4, which I believe is a 3 times amplifier. Bam. Okay, so this is what Distorted does. I'm moving forwards, but now I'm moving backwards because my keys are reversed. And if I look around, I'm looking left. Oh my god, no, I'm looking right now. Oh my, it's really bad. And then each level just adds on to a speed debuff. So it starts out at like 95%, and then it more gets added on, and it goes down again and again. Like it adds on 5% each stack. There is 2 other effects, which is Fractured and Disoriented, and they both do the same things, but Disoriented doesn't have the screen overlay on the odd occasion, and I think you don't have the particle effects like this. And then Fractured, I'm not going to tell you what Fractured does because I think it gives you the random movement, but I'm not going to tell you exactly what it does because you're going to see what it does in a minute when I finish up playing Manipulation. So, back to the video. I hope you're enjoying it. Okay, so, but all the basically you need to know is Distorted makes all of your movements opposite. So looking around is opposite, going backwards and forwards is opposite. That's generally what you need to know about Distorted. But I'll put a video on screen of what that looks like. Or I'll put footage in of what it looks like. Avoid Fracture. Collapsed dimensional instability. Consuming all distorted stacks from nearby enemies. Said enemies take damage based on the number of stacks consumed and are afflicted with slowness free and mining fatigue free. I believe is what I have written down. Yeah, slowness free and mining fatigue free. Yeah. And nearby allies gain speed. No, I have this written wrong, don't I? That's plain distortion. Okay. No, I'm doing plain distortion. I skipped plain distortion. Okay. Warp the surrounding area within 15 blocks. Enemies with fewer than 2 blocks of distorted are increased to 2 stacks and are slowed. Nearby allies gain increased movement speed and 40% damage reduction. Level 3, tier 3 movement speed, the effect. And a 40% damage reduction. That is the case. And then, well, yeah, that's... slowness free and distorted free. Okay. Well, that's a very big range as well. And you get quicker. You get stronger. Now we go on to Void Fracture, which is taking the distorted stacks from nearby enemies, which they take damage. They also get slowness free, mining fatigue free, and weakness free for a short duration. So let's do this one more time. Bam, and then let's stack these, and then let's bam. Brills, that is. Okay. Really, this is a really good like effect stacking one. Like if you're, I think obviously each one has a classification, which will be here. I haven't listed them all, but obviously you can go back and you can look at the classifications if you want to. I also haven't been reading the descriptions, but I feel like you get the general gist of what these powers are based off me showing you more than me reading the description. So then Dimensional Severance is the big one, the big one. Dimensional Severance. Okay, I need to sit up here. Have you ever watched this movie, Spider-Man No Way Home? Is it No Way Home? Yeah, it's No Way Home, because it's Homecoming Far From Home. Yeah. Have you ever watched Spider-Man No Way Home, and there's that scene where Doctor Strange can't contain that, that whole spell, and then the world falls apart? Yeah. Right. So, this is the fractured effect. This whole thing affects anyone from the 17 block radius. That's a green sun. You just ever do something and then consequences be damned. I mean, only lasts 30 seconds. Like, there you go. It's already, sure, I ripped a hole in space-time and reality. But, I look good for doing it. I mean, no, anyway, okay. So, yeah, you can do that. That's what you'll be able to do. It's just, it's a fun prank on your mates. Blowing up their house with Excision would also be a fun prank. Okay. Excision is the next power we are going over. Excision. So, righty. Our Bloodlust is our passive. A damaging, bleeding enemies restores a small amount of your health. This effect is a 10-second cooldown, and additionally, again, you're immune to fire and lava. Our Battle Mode ability is Dismantle, where you launch a flying slash that damages enemies with a 50% chance to cause bleeding, which stores up to 4 charges. And then Sneaking targets enemies in front of you, and what they are then attacked with a continuous flurry of slashes, each with a 5% chance to cause bleeding for up to 5 seconds. So, let's do it. Let's do it. Smelting and fire resistance is our utilities. Damn. Some of these powers I know are based off animes. That would destroy blocks as well. These would destroy blocks if I had that on, but again I don't. So, that's our battle mode. That was our passive, and our max for stats is, I need to scroll down on this again. I keep forgetting to do that. So you sort of base Minecraft stats, and you can increase your strength, speed, armor, and health. Your max for each is +4 strength, +10 speed, +6 armor, and +4 health. And then we have our abilities. So ability 1, Slicing Dash, is an ability that lets you dash directly where you're moving, slicing through enemies in your path. It has 3 charges and a 25% chance to cause bleeding. Just 12. Oh, that's very decent. Very decent. Cleave. Cleave is a held ability that releases a barrage of slashes on targets in front of you. It bypasses armor and has a 5% chance of giving bleeding per hit for 10 seconds. Come on. Yeah, it's on cooldown. Would have been cool. But you know, I'm chill with it. Our next ability is really off. Well, it's not off theme given the, you know, resistance to fire and lava. Flamethrower. You also set fire to the ground, but I think because I have block destruction off, it isn't doing it. So you have we have our flamethrower ability, which is another held ability. A flamethrower releases a stream of flames in front of you and continuously applies burning to enemies caught. And of course, it can also create fire on blocks, but again, I can't show you. It don't work. Okay, now the armor stand's destroyed. The suit stand. Our fourth ability is detonation. Which obviously it's a very destructive one, but I have destruction turned off. But you create a ball of magma surrounded in flame. You blast it off, and it causes a massive explosion. Just absolutely massive. It deals damage in an area, sets fire to enemies, and it also grants a 30% damage reduction, which I assume they mean in the description of this, which I've written everything down for. To me, I assume they mean I get a 30% damage reduction. But then again, when I look in here, and this is just people hit. Why would being exploded give you a? Maybe it gives. It might mean to say allies gives allies a 30% damage reduction. So let's say 30 or 20. Yeah, 30%. Okay. And then we have our final ability, which is a massive world-cutting slash. Unleash a colossal slash that tears through the battlefield. The slash travels forward, dealing massive damage to enemies in its path, destroying terrain and inflicting bleeding. Yeah, generate. Oh yeah, a lot of slicing, a lot of dicing. Let's get to it. Dear Lord. Oh my god. That does 100 damage, by the way. I want to be clear about it. It does 100 damage when it hits. 100 damage. It causes bleeding free, distortion free. Distortion is similar to distorted. It makes all of your movements opposite. There's a screen effect, as I showed you with distorted, which you don't get the screen effect with this. Your movements are just opposite. So yeah, just imagine the footage I showed you, but without the overlay on screen, and that's distortion. Disoriented. Oh my god. Disoriented is the word. Why did I say? Okay, disoriented is the effect. No, I don't know. You don't even know what I said. Okay, so that was Excision. Then we have Spatial Manipulation. Okay. I think this is another one of the ones that's based off an anime. So let's dive right into this one. Our passive ability is spatial awareness. Your perception of space is unmatched. Every 30 seconds, your next ability will cost 0 energy. Additionally, you are immune to disoriented, nausea, blindness, and darkness. Then our battle mode is just teleport. Like you can teleport anywhere you're looking with right click, and your utilities are extra reach, night vision, entity sense, and slow falling. I might actually need this. Yeah. No, okay. Well, I messed that one up. I want to go to that mountain. I think it's just I believe it is anywhere within your line of sight. Like it doesn't matter how far. Yeah, it's just anywhere you want to go. Okay, that has a cooldown on. Okay, yeah, anywhere. Okay, as long as anywhere you can look, you can teleport. Right. So, also you start out. You have no differences to your base Minecraft stats, but you do have the ability to levitate. Also, oh my god, it's so beautiful, guys! It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Like. It changes. It makes your screen look different. It does. It's gorgeous. Like this is really like. I would love for a telekinesis power or a magic power to have this. I've been playing the Infamous series recently, and the sort of hovering they do in those games could really suit to this style of like floating. It's really cool. Because this is just, anytime. I know I do this every time that there's a flight like this, but anytime it has like your FOV like goes back and forth, or there's physical changes to how your character moves that's more outside of the usual normal Palladium, general gist. I love it. I love it. It is gorgeous. I really do. Like obviously, it's not like it reminds me of Core with Stuff. It's not the same as Core with Stuff because Core with Stuff can do full like 360. It can do like gyroscope. You can turn in every direction. Like you can look up and then you can go back further, and you can just do full turns, full loop to loops. But this is still sick. I really hope that there's going to be like a telekinesis power in this add-on that just takes advantage of this beautiful levitation, because it is brilliant. Or even just like a magical power. Okay, so let's do slash ability unlock, and I'll tell you the stat increases for this. Honored one. Wrong button. Well, not wrong button, but wrong move. Okay, so the stat increases for spatial movement are, well, for one, you increase your strength, armor, speed, and health. Your strength being +3, your armor being +6, your speed being +10%, and lastly, your health being +2. You don't get a lot of plus health, but you are decently powerful. As we've gone over your battle ability, teleport, and your extra utilities, night vision, extra range, slow falling, entity sense. Now your abilities. Your first ability is to become untouchable. Literally untouchable. Just entirely untouchable. Like, properly summon so many. None of them can touch you. And obviously, I was going to mention this at the start, but I decided not to. I do think this power, obviously, is one of those that it has a bit more work in progress, just because it doesn't train. None of the abilities drain energy. But I assume when this is released fully, this will drain energy, because it would be very powerful to just be unhittable. Because you can hit things in this mode. You can use all your abilities. Whereas with other abilities, when you become untouchable with other powers, usually you lose the ability to use your other abilities. So I do assume this will be up for change. Our next ability is Lapse Blue. You summon an orb of blue, pulling enemies in and inflicting slowness. Also, it changes while sleeping. Let's just show this off first of all. Damn. Oh dear. No, I don't want you here. Okay. And then, whilst sneaking, instead of creating blue, you unleash its force from within yourself, which pulls them into you and gives them the stun effect. So you become the centre of the orb instead of just shooting out the orb. No, you go over there. All of you. Oh no, I pulled him in closer. Then there's reverse red, which fires an explosive projectile. It deals these damage and destroys terrain on impact. Of course, I have terrain turned off again, but you know, I got that turned off. But if I had it turned on, this would be real sick. Oh my god, they're getting stuck on the rails. Ha! Stupid husks. I don't like husks. They're my least favourite. The amount of times I've been in the desert and I've been swarmed by them. They do my head in. Yeah. Okay. And I think this also has a sneaking, which instead of shooting out again another orb of red, it detonates red around you, and then you push them back. They go real far as well. They also get slowness. Yeah. Obviously, it's just decent damage as well. This is your damaging move. So that was reverse red. Then we have Spatial Lock. Continuously projects compressed space in a cone in front of you. Every enemy caught inside the area has the Spatial Lock effect applied, and when the ability finishes, any enemies inside get launched, basically. Most of these abilities have been launching, but yeah. They get launched and also become disoriented, which, as I've gone over, is similar to Distorted, but you obviously just don't have any screen effect. Also, this is well good. Like, I could see a telepathy power that uses that sort of sound effect and that sort of screen shape. That would be well good. Does the XP? No, the XP is the same on this. Okay. Our final ability, Absolute Infinity. Channel overwhelming spatial energy for 3 seconds, then drastically project infinity outwards. Enemies within a 15 block radius are affected with slowness, weakness, and mining fatigue. It's slowness 4, weakness 4, and mining fatigue 4. And are knocked back. This is really a knockback power. I don't want to undersell that. Yeah, you want to come at me? You want to come at me? Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? I'm a random anime character. I don't know the name of. Yeah. I think I want to leave. I'm gonna let this call go off actually because I do. Well, yeah, it explodes. I thought it did. Because I was gonna kill him and then I thought no, because I can't remember if it explodes or not. Yeah. Oh, and now they're gone. You too. That was Spatial Manipulation, and that is everything I had to show you today. This has been a preview of Goldfish's Echoes of Power. The mod will be linked in the description, although obviously this update isn't out, and I don't know when it will be out, as well as the Discord for the mod. Maybe you consider checking it out. You'll be able to keep up with teasers. Might be nice for you. But I've been LD. This has, again, been a preview of Echoes of Power. And I'll see you next time, everybody. Bye!